Blog Talk Radio. You are tuned in to another episode of Two Lit Tuesdays right here on Endie Fiya with your girl, Nakia. Guys, I'm super excited about being here with you this evening. Just because, one, I'm so excited to talk to our guests, as always. Two, I get to spend the second day with you all this week. Three, I have never been so at peace in all my life. I know some of you are probably looking at your phones, your laptops, like, what is she talking about? Nakia at peace? I know. Guys, let me tell you, I had the crazy dream last night. I don't even remember what the dream was about. I know I woke up like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up because I actually fell asleep. My sleep is very, short, like 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. That's all throughout the night. Well, last night, I slept for like 2 hours, right? I woke up, and the first thing that came to my mind was, like, reach out to your man. Tell him that you can't sleep. Okay, that's odd. All right, so I did it. I was like, I can't sleep. So he was like, I'm about to call you. We could talk. And I was like, nah, I'm good. Something just said reach out to him and say I can't sleep. So I fell back asleep, and I slept for like another 2 hours, right? I woke up this morning, and I don't know. It's like this weight had been lifted off of me. All day long, I thought, yeah, sure, something's wrong. I'm crazy. Like, I'm feeling, got this odd feeling. Like, I was very indescribable. And so I was talking to my business bestie, and I was like, yo, I feel like so calm and so peaceful. Like, the voices in my head, they're not there anymore. Like, when you breathe in the air and it's just stagnant air, it's like the air is pure. Like, I had a lot of words to describe it, but yet it was still indescribable. And I thought, this is like too good to be true. Like, something's going to mess this day up. And I noticed at work, everything was just calm. It was peaceful, and I remember saying, when I woke up this morning, you say your prayer, and I don't remember what I said, but I thought maybe that had something to do with it, but I don't know. And my mother sent me a message. You guys know my mother's a minister. And, this weekend I had the opportunity to speak at an organ donor banquet or dinner. And it was very last minute that I was called to do so and represent my family. But in speaking at that event, it opened up so many doors for me. And my mother said this morning, she was just like, you know what, I see, oh gosh, she was like, I see you on TV. I see you on a bigger scale. And I was like, whoa, that I receive it. Whatever you've seen, whatever you're prophesizing, I receive it, and I don't know if that's what kind of just, because that's something that, a goal of mine. And I don't know, she was just like, you just got to knock down the walls and bust through them and go for what it is that you want, and just hearing that or reading that, this calm, again, just came over me. I've just been at peace all day because I know what it is that I got to do, and school start back up on Thursday, and it's like 4 classes for 8 weeks, and you know, all day I just been like, I got this. You got it. You know what I'm saying? You got this. I know you guys didn't want to hear me talk about all of this, but I wanted to let you know why I'm at peace. It's amazing. The feeling is amazing. Something that I honestly have never felt like this before. So with that being said, let me back up just a little bit. I talked to you guys yesterday on New Music Mondays. We introduced some new music. Again, a lot of new artists going to be in rotation. We actually have a 7-year-old that we're going to put in rotation next week from Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm super excited for you all to hear Miss Melody Starr, again, out of Raleigh. Then on last Thursday, we had a 100-gram Prezi here from Reno, Nevada. Awesome interview. Shout out to that young man. He's like a social misfit, so to speak. And I can't wait to watch him come out of his shell and, take this industry by storm the way that he really wants to. In the news, Travis Scott apparently was injured this weekend at the Rolling Loud Festival, and he's reportedly considering going under the knife for a bum knee. Again, he headlined the Rolling Loud New York over the weekend, and apparently there was some type of injury that he sustained, but he went to, his doctor afterwards, and he was diagnosed with a dislocated knee, more specifically a stretch or tear in the patellar tendon. All right, so he's considering going under the knife. I'll keep you posted on that. Queen Latifah is a mere days away from receiving a mark of achievement in honor of her contributions to Black history and culture. According to the Hollywood Reporter, the Grammy Award-winning star is due to be awarded the W.E.B. Du Bois Medal by Harvard University on Tuesday, October 22nd. Shout out to Queen. Yo, this is huge. That's huge right there. So big ups to her. Also, awards. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has announced its nominees for the class of 2020. I think that came out on yesterday. As reported by NPR, the Notorious B.I.G. and Whitney Houston are among the 16 artists selected for the honor. All right, so let me see who else that we might know in the nominees. We got Rufus featuring Shaka Khan, and I don't know none of these other people. All right, so keeping it moving, noticeably absent from the list is LL Cool J, who has been nominated for a spot in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 5 times, but never inducted. All right, to be eligible, artists or bands must have released their first commercial recording at least 25 years ago. Biggie dropped his first album, Ready to Die, in 1994. This makes the first year the late hip-hop icon is able to receive a nomination. Fingers crossed, all right? I got my fingers crossed for that right there. Summer Walker, I think last week we talked about the new single that she had out. Well, she also made a little bit of history. A year ago, Summer Walker's debut mixtape, Last Day of Summer, was released, and now her debut album, Follow-Up, Over It, is the largest debut album from a female R&B artist in over 10 years. Our 18-track project landed at number 1 on Billboard's top R&B hip-hop albums chart and number 2 on Billboard's top 200 albums, selling over 134,000 album equivalent, making Over It the largest debut for an R&B female singer since Beyonce's award-winning album, Lemonade. It's also the biggest streaming week for an album by a female R&B artist ever. So shout out to Summer Walker on that. That's huge right there. That is huge. I say this all the time. Each of us are gifted with the ministry. No, I didn't say that, you all are going to be ministers, but everyone is gifted with a ministry or a calling. It is up to each one of us to tap into that gift and bring it to fruition. Our guest this evening was blessed to tap into her calling at a very young age. Miss Azaria Cherry is a 15-year-old sophomore in the Health and Specialities Program at Maury High School. At the age of 11, she learned that many minority girls attending Title I schools were not receiving equal access to STEM activities. The following year, she created her own nonprofit entitled ZincGirlz, which provides inner city girls with the opportunity to explore STEM, learn the importance of self-love and higher education, and introduces girls to community stewardship. She also has her own positive affirmation business, PrettyGirlTeez, which sells everything from T-shirts to cups and ornaments. Outside of being a girl boss, Azaria enjoys participating in many after-school activities, sports, and being a teen activist addressing numerous social issues affecting girls and women on local and global levels. Lastly, she takes great pride in completing countless hours of community service and philanthropist efforts. Upon graduating in 2022, Azaria is looking forward to studying medicine on a collegiate level and becoming a pediatric emergency physician. Currently, her top 3 college choices are Spelman, Howard, and Hampton University. Endie Fiya audience, I present to you this evening entrepreneur, philanthropist, and teen activist, Miss Azaria Cherry. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am well. I am so excited to have you here with me this evening. I got a ton of questions, and hopefully I'm going to be able to get all of those answered this evening. You're 15.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
And you have done all of this within a 4-year span. Is that correct?
Yes.
So I know that I read about your nonprofit organization, ZincGirlz, but if you yourself can tell the listening audience just what your mission was when you created this nonprofit.
Well, I'm very passionate about women's rights, and especially rights among African American women and minority women within the STEM field. So that's one of the main areas that I like to focus on when I'm doing stuff that involves working for equal women's rights constantly. So as an African American woman, I feel as though we are the least represented, and we're not given the same opportunities to learn about STEM the way our counterparts are. So that's my main reason for starting ZincGirlz, to provide minority girls with an opportunity to experience STEM.
And what are the 3 main components that the organization focuses on?
So ZincGirlz has our 3 big E's, which are education, empowerment, and entertainment. So during our 1-week session, during our first 2 days, we would have our education section, which is pretty much me teaching the girls about going to college and applying for your high school programs and taking AP classes in order to prepare yourself better for college. And also we'll do STEM activities to teach the girls how STEM is in our everyday lives, or we'll make something that girls use every day just to show them how STEM is greatly impacting our world. And then during our next 2 days, we have our empowerment days. So we'll have a licensed social worker come in to talk about self-care and self-love, just to provide the girls with a stable foundation with self-esteem and confidence. And then during our last day, we have our entertainment day, which is where we pretty much just have a party to celebrate the girls finishing the week and having a strong week. And we'll also do a community service project just to teach the girls about community stewardship and providing for their community to make the world a better place.
Wow. Let's back up just a moment, because there may be someone who's listening who has no idea what STEM is. They keep hearing you say the word STEM. It was mentioned in your bio, but there may be someone listening again who does not know what STEM is and why it is so important. So can you just break down the letters STEM and let the listening audience know exactly what it is and why it is so important?
Of course. So STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. And it can also sometimes be called STEAM, which includes arts. But I feel as though there's many programs that already cater towards art, so I like to keep ZincGirlz more catered towards STEM.
This is off topic. What's your favorite subject in school?
My favorite subject is science. I love any kind of science, especially biology and, like, human biology. I just think it's so interesting to learn how things work and the way our bodies are put together.
I had to ask, simply because I tried to get my son involved, in STEM, but those subjects, are not his favorite subjects. He's PE. That's his favorite subject. So I wanted to be able to link the two together. Now, you have really big aspirations once you graduate high school. What are your grades looking like right now?
Right now, I have straight A's and 1 B. So my, GPA is, a 3.7 right now, and I have 2 AP classes, so I'm doing pretty good so far.
Yes, I would think so. How hard is it for you to stay focused on, school and then also run this nonprofit organization? Or is it hard for you at all?
I struggle, but what I've learned is that I just need to focus on time management. I always have a planner, but at the end of the day, my grades are my priority, and that my main goal is to get into college. So that's the main thing that matters.
Time management, very important. Is that something that you assist with, or your organization assists with the educational part of ZincGirlz?
Yes, making sure girls know that you can balance sports and still get good grades and do all the fun things that you want to do no matter what, and still be able to succeed in school.
I know that the organization has the word girls in it, but how are you empowering and impacting the lives of not only female youth, but women in general?
Well, I just feel as though no matter how old you are, you should be able to feel empowered and comfortable in the skin that you're in. So everything that I do, it doesn't have to just be catered to girls. And at the end of the day, we all start off as girls who grow into women. So Everything that you learn can apply to whatever stage of life that you're in.
Off topic again, you mentioned loving and the skin that you're in. That is very important for the youth of today, and not only the youth, but women and men in general. We watch so much television, we see social media, we try to follow the stigmas that are, all across social media. But when it comes to loving the skin that you're in, does your organization, teach young girls how important it is to be able to just love you? Whether you have the natural hair, whether you have the big lips, whether you develop quicker than somebody else did. How are you implementing that into your organization?
So during our second day, that's the main purpose of the social worker coming in, just to teach the girls about self-care and all that kind of stuff, just to give them self-esteem and empower them and teach them that it's okay to be just as you are. In middle school, I was actually bullied, and I had some really hard years because I wasn't the prettiest girl, and I was disliked because I liked STEM and I liked the things that a lot of girls didn't like to do. So it was pretty awful. So I just want to make sure that no girl ever feels the way that I felt.
And that is huge. I just remember being in high school, middle school. You may have been talked about maybe because, I don't know, maybe your shoes. Bullying just wasn't as dominant as it is now. How did you overcome being bullied?
My mom, all the strong women that constantly surround me, so I just always could confide in them, and they would tell me ways to block it out and just always push to be better no matter what.
Awesome. it really does take a village when it comes, to raising the youth of today, and to be surrounded by, like you mentioned, strong women and even men in a child's life or a young adult's life. That makes a huge difference. So I salute the women in your life, and I know they're so proud of you. You actually came, your name came up, and all of your accomplishments came up through a family friend of mine. And she says, how old, are your guests on the show? And I said, well, it really depends on, what type of guest. She sent me all these accolades about you, and I was like, oh, yeah, I most definitely have to get her in on the show. You mentioned social workers. Shout out to Tiffany Johnson. You mentioned social workers and how they come in and they speak about, self-care. But who else actively assists with the empowerment of these young girls?
Well, since I'm an aspiring doctor, I know a couple of African-American doctors who come in and teach the girls about possible careers that involve STEM. So you have computer programmers, dentists, pretty much anything that involves STEM, people who do cosmetics, because that's a huge part of STEM if you realize it, or even if you don't. So they all come in and just teach the girls that you can go here or you can go there no matter what.
Awesome. How do your classmates and your peers look at you now? Those people that may have bullied you, 2 or 3 years ago, and they see everything that you're doing now. How do they look at you now?
It's a lot better. Like, I think they see that now I'm succeeding and I'm doing good, so now they're trying to say, oh, well, I want to be like her now. So I feel like I'm a role model to the kids my age, just because I know that I'm doing good and I can inspire other girls to do good too. And I definitely
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel really good, because I feel like I'm a change agent within my age group in my community, and it just makes me feel like I can do. So it just makes me feel good, because I know I can do great things in the future.
So when you have someone who is, the same age as you, who looks up to you at 15 and aspires to, be somewhat like you, or, come to you for advice now, just what do you share with them now that, I don't know, me personally, I think I would have a problem. You was bullying me 2 or 3 years ago, and now, I would feel good, but in the back of my head, I would be like, there's got to be this ulterior motive, but that's just me, But how do you respond, if they come to you and they're like, hey, how did you start this, or tell me, give me the blueprint, how do you respond to them?
I feel like I definitely got the last laugh when people who
Good.
bullied me in the past come to me for help. So my biggest thing is just be you. Whatever is bothering you, let it roll off your shoulders. That's what I had to do, so now you're going to have to do the same thing. And when it comes to people asking me about, like, how do I start my own business and stuff like that, I help as much as I can, but I'm not going to sit there and give you my personal ideas, because that means you can take my stuff and do whatever you want with it. So, yeah.
Hey now, what's good? It's your girl, Jana Blackwell, C-Town Records, Mistress of Soul. And you're on the air with the hottest independent station, Endie Fiya, with your host, Nakia, giving you that heat right here on the station, bringing you all of the hottest hip-hop hits, Endie Fiya.
Thank you, Jana. If you're just tuning in, you're live right here on Too Lit Tuesdays on Endie Fiya with your girl, Nakia, and our very special guest this evening, entrepreneur and teen activist and philanthropist, and oh my gosh, the list just goes on, Miss Azaria Cherry.
Hey.
So now I know that you also have your positive affirmation business, PrettyGirlTeez. When did that come about?
Well, ZincGirlz is actually a nonprofit organization, and running a nonprofit is extremely expensive. And after a while, I began to realize that. So me growing up and realizing that there wasn't as much stuff that encouraged me to be me, I decided to start my own positive affirmation business that encourages girls to be comfortable in their own skin, as well as providing for ZincGirlz.
And so your bio says that, there's everything from T-shirts to cups to ornaments.
Yes.
I think I saw one of the T-shirts because I'm a stalker. I will stalk pages to learn all about my guests, and so I want to be very informed when they get on the show. So I saw T-shirts and was kind of just blown away. How can our listening audience, if they're interested in purchasing any of the PrettyGirlTeez paraphernalia, how can they get in contact with you and do so?
So right now, I currently operate off of Etsy. So if you go to my Instagram, which is at PrettyGirlTeez, and Teez is with a Z at the end, then you can find the link to my Etsy shop in my bio, and you can place your order there.
All right, at PrettyGirlTeez. That's PrettyGirlTeez. Got it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So what type of extracurricular activities do you participate in? When do you have time to participate in any extracurricular activities?
So every week I'm like jam-packed, but I pretty much make sure that every Sunday I dedicate personal time to myself so I can recharge for the week. And I use my planner in order to organize everything so I know when I'm going where, and it helps me plan around like all of my activities and my schedules just to make sure that I'm not overlapping and stuff. And it pretty much just all falls into place as long as I stay organized and continue to use my planner.
Let me tell you something. People think I'm crazy. I work off of four planners and then 2 calendars on 2 devices. All right, that's just how busy I am. So it doesn't stop now. Something that I had to, get my daughter to fully grasp. Your week is going to be hectic. You're involved with so many activities, and extracurricular activities. So you need this planner. And now she's in college and she's a freshman. And it's funny because every Sunday she's like, Mom, let me show you my planner for the week. And I'm like, I'm proud of her, but it's also at the same time I'm just like, I guess maybe she's a little like me. She has like the board that she writes everything on. Then she has the actual planner that she writes everything in. And she carries it everywhere now to make sure she's on time for this and that. And I'm like, yeah, okay. It doesn't stop here. Like, it's only going to get worse, And so it's good that you have that foundation right now, that you're utilizing your planner, that you use Sunday to take the time out for you. That is something that grown women don't do. I'm guilty of that. Just taking time out for you to be able to do the things that, away from your organization or away from your business, away from school. Just have some me time. That I don't know who instilled that in you early, but shout out to them. Because, again, that is something that even grown women, we are so busy with our lives and being mothers and running businesses, that we don't even take time for ourselves. So that I love that about you, taking the time out on Sunday to start the week out right, getting everything in the planner, taking a little me time. I honestly think it helps with the process of being able to focus and stay on task and not be distracted when you have the beginning of your week already etched out. So shout out to you, as well as those strong individuals in your life that, have instilled that in you. What type of projects or, community service projects have you been a part of with your organization, whether it be community, statewide, or even nationally?
There's so many. For example, every winter I strive to do homeless care packages. So I'll do a drive to raise money, or people could even just donate supplies for me to make care packages just to hand out to the homeless. In fact, this weekend I also have my own, I'm speaking at a period rally to end period poverty, so providing menstrual items to people who need them because it's a basic necessity that every woman needs. And then I also do a backpack drive, and this year I did 300 backpacks, and then I also did my own book drive, which I raised 100 books for kindergarten kids just to have their own book to say, oh, we're starting the month off with literacy. And it also had representation because it was a book that had brown characters in it, and it just motivated them to see that there's people who look like them in books.
Wow. Amazing. I want to back up because you mentioned something that I was actually about to touch upon. National Period Day is this Saturday, the 19th.
Yeah.
Why is it so significant or important to your organization?
Because I know as most of the girls who participate in Zinc attend Title I elementary schools, those are the schools where most of the families live in poverty, which means that their schools are going to get the most funding because they don't have basic necessities and stuff that most people would have. Therefore, I know some of those girls may struggle to get the supplies that they do need for their cycles, and every girl is going to need them at some point in time. So I think it's important that there's awareness that not every female is getting the proper supplies that are needed for their period.
And Endie Fiya listening audience, if you've tuned in to some past shows, we've had Dawn Earhart with the Desire to Inspire Foundation here. We've also had Rosemarie Williams with her organization, Global Citizens Press. She's going to kill me. There's another word on the end. But these two young ladies and their organizations, this is something that they're very, very passionate about. Just reading a little bit about National Period Day, again, celebrated or acknowledged on October the 19th. They will rally in 50 states in honor of the world's first National Period Day, elevating the issue of period poverty and demanding real change to making period products more accessible for all and ending the tampon tax. And a lot of you didn't know this, that 35 U.S. states still have a sales tax on period products, considering them non-essential items. Last I checked, this was Mother Nature. This was something that every woman goes, every young girl, every teenage girl, every woman goes through. And as Azaria mentioned, there are, I'm talking about these two individuals who are looking at this on a global level, how we can assist on a global level. But she's mentioning you have these young girls right here in these Title I schools who do not have the access to essential products that are needed. There is a petition that you can sign. There's a national petition that you can sign. It affects, and people go, well, I'm not a woman. Yeah, but you came from a woman. Your mother, you have sisters, your daughters. It affects everyone. And I was, I don't know, I had to write a paper maybe a couple of semesters ago, and I had no idea that, the Nike Corporation, and I can't remember the country, but the Nike Corporation has these workers, and they work, and if, their cycle comes on, oh, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get the time to go and make sure that you have the supplies that you need, and so that happens in foreign countries, but we, again, have young girls here in our country that are going through the same thing. And I read an article not too long ago. A mother has a daughter who's like 10 or 12, but she also has two sons that are like 15 and 16, and she makes sure that her sons have a period pack that they take to school in case one of their classmates, has an accident, or they even have a sweatshirt in the locker so that she can cover up, if she has an accident. And I'm thinking, what would the world be like if everyone thought like that? You know what I'm saying? Instead of picking and pointing out the flaw, if you help with what is going on, like Azaria's organization is doing, if you help with what is going on, how much greater would this world really be if everybody grasped that type of vision? That's something to think about, all right? What is so unique about your company, ZincGirlz?
So with ZincGirlz in the city of Norfolk, there's currently no programs besides ZincGirlz that's a STEM program catered towards girls that are younger. Most of the time, it's mostly Caucasian females, and most of the time, it's not even females. It's males who are given STEM programs, and girls are forced more into dance and drawing and singing and stuff like that. So ZincGirlz is pretty much the only organization in the city of Norfolk that is providing these opportunities and is free of cost to other girls and isn't charging them in order to do all of these activities.
Wow. Do you see expansion for ZincGirlz? You mentioned Norfolk, which is in Virginia. So do you see expansion? Do you want to go, say to like, I don't know, Maryland, to D.C., to Connecticut, to New York? Do you want to expand your organization?
I plan to have that in my future. It's just a matter of when it's going to fall in and how it's going to fit with like the rest of my goals and aspirations for life.
That is so amazing, so awesome. I know people come up to you and they, shower you with praise, and they're so excited about everything that you're doing, and they're appreciative for what you're doing. But how would you measure success in your role?
I measure success as having an impact on one girl. That one girl can go and impact other people. So as long as I'm impacting at least one person, that's creating another impact on somebody else. So that's all that matters. That's how I measure my success.
Girl, that's me. That is me right there. I tell people all the time, with the show, the mission is to be able to provide a platform for the independent community, give them an avenue of expression to be able to get their brand out to others. And at the end of the day, if I've done so, if somebody can tell me, oh my gosh, this is my first interview, or this is my first interview in the United States, I feel like I have fulfilled my mission. I am walking in my purpose, and of course, I am living what I'm passionate about. So I agree with you 100% on that right there. How did you become an ambassador for Strong Magazine for Girls?
It was just an application and an interview process, and once I was accepted, I was so shocked because I know it's so many other amazing girls who were also applying just to have the same opportunity that I'm having.
Wow. How are you using, or how are you going to use this opportunity to advance your platform?
I feel as though with Strong Girls, it's another way for all of the girls who are ambassadors just to have another way to express their main focus and what they're fighting for. So I feel as though it's another way for me not only to grow myself, but in order for me to display and work towards women's rights in another area.
Hey, yo, what's good? It's your boy Jerusalem from the Scarfella Music Group, and you on the air with the hottest station, Endie Fiya, with your host, Lil Timmy and Nakia, right here on the station bringing you all the hottest hip-hop hits, Endie Fiya. Let's get it.
Thank you, Jerusalem. If you're just tuning in, you're live right here on Too Lit Tuesdays on Endie Fiya with your girl, Nakia, and our very special guest, entrepreneur, teen activist, and philanthropist, Azaria Cherry. We're super excited to have her here just because of all that she's accomplished at the age of 15. One of my guests last Thursday was 18, and he had opened up for like E40 and Nest Pharaoh God or somebody like that. But he's opened up for mainstream artists, and he's only 18. He's done things that people, have waited their lifetime to possibly accomplish, and he's done that. And the same with this young lady. Some of us may never start that nonprofit because of fear. You know what I'm saying? Because of naysayers, because of people just being, people. You may never start the nonprofit, but here she is. She saw this need in her area, and she stepped out on faith, and she started this nonprofit, and it's doing phenomenal. All right, not only for her and what she went through being bullied, but for other young ladies who may be going through the same issue. This nonprofit has given them the opportunity to come through, and shine and be their natural selves. And so big up to Azaria Cherry for all that she is doing. I want to ask you a question that I ask all of my guests. What is the last thing that you learned?
Well, school-wise, today I learned that electrons are actually in a cloud and they're not on rings. And the way that two elements combine together is by the outside ring of electrons combining together and sharing electrons in between each other. And the last thing I learned business-wise is no matter what, if somebody tells me that I can't do it, I have to keep going. And I feel as though that's something that is going to always be told to me, but no matter what, I have to keep going. So that's just one of my main things that I'm constantly realizing and learning.
All right, so we're going to go with that second answer because the first one was just like foreign language to me. I heard like electrons and a cloud, and boom, that was it. Like my mind went far left. I'm like, science was never – I maintained the A in science, but I had to work for that A in science. It was like nothing natural for me, like history is, like English is, you know what I mean, like math is. Those are all natural. I didn't have to study a lot for those courses, but science, yeah, nah. So we're going to go with that second answer. Hold on to that and tell me the last thing that you taught someone.
The last thing that I feel as though I taught someone is just to love themselves through ZincGirlz and teaching them that you can be who you want to be and that you're strong no matter what.
All right, so take the last thing that you learned, business-wise, not science, and the last thing that you taught someone. Combine those two answers together. And if you have, maybe you have someone that's listening to the show right now and they're thinking, wow, like, this is something that my community needs. Maybe I can be the individual who starts my own nonprofit similar to this because my area needs this as well. But I'm scared. Like, I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? What piece of advice could you offer that young entrepreneur who has the drive, they have the desire, but they just clueless. They don't know where to go. What can you say to them?
Do it. You're worth it. The work that you're doing is worth it. At the end, the result that you're going to get out of it is worth it.
So like Nike, y'all, she said just do it. Sometimes, like as I mentioned in my very emotional intro, sometimes you got to knock the walls down. You got to bust through walls. If there's something that is nagging at you and it is nagging at you and it is nagging at you and you feel that you're passionate about it, just do it. Like she said, what you going to do? You're going to fail or you succeed.
And no matter what, if you fail, you have to get back up again.
There you go. You took the words out of my mouth. My mother always told me that, she had a plaque that sat on her desk, and she says I gave it to her, but I don't remember. It says, there's no option to be less than number one, and I always strive to be number one in everything I did growing up. And I don't know what happened along the way, but I thought, 2 is my favorite number, so I can rock with being number 2. And the older I got, I began to realize that, no, you don't settle for second best in anything that you do. This is something that you're instilling in your children, that they need to be top dog at everything they do. Then you yourself need to climb back on that ladder. And so if you do fail, get back up and try again. if you do get a no, go back out there and try again until you get the yes. You know, if you're passionate about what you're doing or what you want to do, there's nothing or no one that can stop you from excelling in what it is that you're trying to do. Just do it, like you said. How do you feel that you can make your organization better?
I feel like once I have more free time, I can apply myself and put more effort into me growing my brand and doing more marketing. It's just I currently don't have the time to do it. So once I find a way to move my schedule around so I can put more effort into ZincGirlz and PrettyGirlTeez, I can easily grow and multiply and have a bigger following and have more support with both ZincGirlz and PrettyGirlTeez.
All right. If you're listening, this is a nonprofit organization, ZincGirlz. She mentioned the word marketing. That right there just stood out to me. She has social workers. She has doctors, female doctors that come in and speak to these young ladies. If you're out there and you're listening and you touch your heart to be able to help this young lady and this organization with marketing, you need to reach out to her. You need to do so. If she's trying to get to the next level, she's trying to grow her business as a high school student who can't, just allot all of her time to this organization. If you're out there and you're listening and you want to help, she's going to give her contact information in a few. Please reach out to her, please, or her mother. Please reach out. Oh, you know what? Shout out to your mom. This whole interview, and I've just been, talking about you, but your mom is a huge impact in your life. I know she's very proud of you. How supportive is the rest of your family with all that you're set out to do and all that you're accomplishing?
They are extremely supportive. If I have a crazy idea, they're going to be there to back me up and support me no matter what. They're always just there as my human diary. I can tell them anything. If I need help with something, I know they're going to come and help me. They're great and extremely supportive.
That is awesome. What 3 words would you use to describe you?
I'm strong-willed. I'm a change maker, and I am ambitious.
Sounds a little bit like me again. Yes. I love those three qualities, I would say. And I think it takes a person who is very ambitious and most definitely strong-willed to overcome what you have overcome with the bullying, and then to go on and create such an amazing nonprofit organization. If the world saw or read your vision and everybody just jumped on board, they realized how important your vision is, how do you think the world would benefit?
I feel like all women would be equal to men, no matter what race, gender, or no matter what, women would be equal to men, and we would have the same rights that everyone else would have.
And that right there is just not on a community level, not on a state level. That is globally. Everything that whole organization is trying to instill in these young girls, these are challenges that are faced everywhere for young girls, young teens, young adults, even women. A lot of these issues, and challenges, again, are what people across the globe face. So to be able to, and I don't want to say on a small scale, because this is huge, but just to be able to have this in her corner of the world, just imagine what would happen if it was amplified and everyone was striving to do the same thing globally. It would be so amazing. I can't think of another word. Just amazing. Something that I feel like is needed on a larger level than just where she is right now. So I can't wait to see what happens in the future. I'm definitely going to be following you. I told you I'm a stalker, so I'm going to be following everything that this organization is doing, as well as the positive affirmation business, because that is important, as well. So many of our youth facing issues at home, facing issues at school, again, the bullying, the suicide numbers that we're seeing increase. It is important that you don't see it on, an adult talking about it, an adult giving you positive affirmations, but you see it on your level, that you see your peer has this business and this is what she's doing, to instill some motivation, some inspiration, some empowerment into your life. This is huge. So again, if you're listening and you're interested in assisting Azaria with marketing, with promotions, whatever the need may be for this organization, I challenge you to reach out and assist in whatever way you're able to do so. I want to open up the floor to you now and give you the opportunity to get all of your contact information out. For those who may be listening live or for those who may come back and listen to a playback show, the show does play back on about 10 or 11 different platforms. So somebody 2 weeks from now may hear, this call for, somebody in marketing, and they want to get in contact with you. The floor is now yours to go ahead and get all of that information out, as well as any shout-outs that you want to give as well. The floor is now yours.
So my social media handles are ZincGirlz, and Zinc is ZINC Girls, and it's all together, and girls is spelled with the Z, and that's on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. I also have my own website, which is ZincGirlz.org, and there's also PrettyGirlTeez, which Instagram is PrettyGirlTeez, and Teez is spelled with a Z.
All right, I hope you got all of that, because as usual, I zoned out because I had another question. IG is ZincGirlz, that's ZINCGIRLZ. All right, the website is ZincGirlz.org. I'm trying to remember all of this. PrettyGirlTeez on IG as well, Teez with a Z. All right, again, we're going to be following everything that this young lady does. I can't wait till she graduates high school and see where she is in 2022. And that's going to be right around the corner. You think, now we're just 2020 next year. The way time is flying, that's going to come up on us really soon. So I'm just excited to see, where 2020 takes her and on into 2021 and again 2022 when she graduates. I wish you much success in all that you do and all that you set your hand to do, and every establishment that you walk into. I wish you great success. Everything that pours from your mouth and you instill in other young women. And you know what? Not only young women, there are young men that are going to be watching you too. And hopefully, they'll want to join in, and maybe there'll be a Zing Boys. Who knows? But everything that you pour into individuals, your peers and your classmates, as they listen and they see what you're doing, I wish you just great success with everything that you have set out to do and are going to do. Again, I want to show some love to your mom. I don't know if she's listening or she's on the line, but I want to show some love to her just for being who she is in your life, because you had to come from greatness, and I haven't met her face to face, but just in talking back and forth with her, I know she's a phenomenal woman. So shout out to you, Sharice, if you are listening, if you're tuned in, and continue just to be that motivating force in your daughter's life, as well as the strong group of women that surround her. Just continue to be a strong motivating force in her life. I do want to play this song right here. This is Keisha Beard, Christian hip-hop artist out of Seattle, Washington. The song is entitled Queening, all right, as in queening. And I feel like this just embodies everything that Miss Azaria is doing. Keisha Beard, Queening.
Queening. Where's my crown? We sweet, we cute, we clean, we cool, we queen, we rule, we be the truth. We sweet, we cute, we clean, we cool, we queen, we rule, we be the truth. Queened up, supremed up, wear the crown, shut it down. Queened up, supremed up, wear the crown, shut it down. Queened up, supremed up, wear the crown, shut it down. Queened up, supremed up, wear the crown, shut it down. Let me in, let me in, let me go, let me show you know what I got is crazy. She a beast with a bar and it goes so hard. She rap but she act like a lady. If you pass that mic then you might not like when she get it back. Just saying, too hot to touch, too high to reach. I guess I'm like a flame. They did not see me coming. Just let me show you something. I'm sick, I spit, I'm ill, I'm L and well, it's disgusting. I'm on a brand new board and lately I've been feeling wavy. Long hair, don't care, my faith is great. I'm such a effing lady. I know you see me and you hate me, baby. It's all gravy. I serve a king of kings and represent the one who made me. I represent the Prince of Peace and King of Feasts who rose from death and beat the beast. I sip the juice and eat the yeast. Yeah. We sweet, we cute, we clean, we cool, we queen, we rule, we be the truth. We sweet, we cute, we clean, we cool, we queen, we rule, we be the truth. Queened up, supremed up, wear the crown, shut it down. Queened up, supremed up, wear the crown, shut it down. Queened up, supremed up, wear the crown, shut it down. Queened up, supremed up, wear the crown, shut it down. She got that crown, racing her walk, spit that histamine. Melanin brown, lace them in chalk with that Ethylene. Winning, handling business, making decisions, riding with royalty. Looking delicious, sushi ambitious, God keep on calling me. Rich is her father, and she the daughter, living in water. Submarine, evil don't bother, she know the author, came in to slaughter. Guillotine, top of her class, top of her game, elevated. Mezzanine, shop with the bags, drop with the queens, and we taking everything. Ball cap to my head wrap, weave down to my shoe strap. Nails, purse to my lip gloss. World loving this thick sauce. All caps in these bread backs. She brownie like 2 snacks. Wells first and we dip off. Bye haters, I'm that boss. We sweet, we cute, we clean, we cool, we queen, we rule, we be the truth. We sweet, we cute, we clean, we cool, we queen, we rule, we be the truth. Queened up, supremed up, wear the crown, shut it down. Queened up, supremed up, wear the crown, shut it down. Queened up, supremed up, wear the crown, shut it down. Queened up, supremed up, wear the crown, shut it down. Putting in charge, I kick with the bars. Hey, God has been God, I gotta go hard like them boys. Making noise, shoulda pull up with boys. Up for the task, top of the class. So I am my status, know who my dad is before you ask this. Empress, how a crown sits, black girl magic. Woman of God, walk by the spirit, no blind. Serving for something's a job, and when they pour salt on your work hard, reminder your work hard, so that hard work better pay off. Dust off your elegant gloms and give them that charm that set you apart from that. Living low on a bad one, hey, hubby know I'm a bad one. Like phone closed, then I own a stove, show the J code with a great view. Woo! Now I'm a mom too, gotta know my role model, cause she's seeing everything that I do, so I show a queen whenever I move.
Yes, Queenin'. That was Keisha Beard, hip-hop Christian artist out of Seattle, Washington, featuring Dice Gamble and B. Angelique. That's what I feel like Azaria Cherry is doing. She is most definitely Queenin'. Sorry, I get hyped when I hear that song right there. I get hyped.
I got hyped
thank you
too.
again. Thank you so much again for joining us this evening. Again, you could have been anywhere, but you've taken the time to give freely of yourself. Join us here this evening and talk about your phenomenal organization. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, make sure that you're tuning in on this coming Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 11:30 p.m. in the UK. Yes, we're going back across the pond to our people with Mindstorm Music Agency, and we will have rising up-and-coming rap artist Robbie Raps here with us, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure that you're tuning in. All right, you know how we do when we get with our UK family. All right. As always, I want to leave you with a quote. Music is a higher revelation than all wisdom and philosophy. That's Beethoven. So until Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you all have a good night.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are so very, very welcome.